Let's talk about an important kind of conversational implication now, which is generalized conversational implicature. In generalized conversational implicature, no special background knowledge is required to understand the implied meaning of an implicature. For example, meanings are conveyed through an expression or through some piece of language, and we can understand it then and there without referring back to the context. And we can say that in such conversational implicature, the meaning are inferable without inference to any special context. So the listener do not have to infer to some background knowledge, to relation knowledge in order to understand the meaning. Though inference to those things may help him understand the meaning clearly, but primarily he doesn't need such background knowledge in order to understand the meaning. If you look at the example here, there are two examples there. In example 1, we can see the participant A say, "Did you buy bread and cheese?" B said, "I bought bread." In example 2, we can see, "Did you invite Bella and Kathy?" And the B says, "I invited Bella." In both examples, you can say that we don't have to know the context. In first example, the participant B answered only that he bought bread, and we can infer that he didn't buy cheese. Similarly, in the second example, we can infer that the participant B invited Bella only and did not invite the other one which was asked by A, and that is Kathy. So in both examples, as I said, we can calculate the additional meaning conveyed by looking at the sentences carefully and without referring back to the context. One common example of such implicature is in form of expressions X, for example, where we imply that X is not closely related to the speaker or subject who is talking about certain thing. We can have the example of such implicatures in the example in front of you. John walked into our house yesterday and saw a tortoise. From this expression, we can say, or we can infer, that it was probably not his own house. And had it been his own house, he would have probably said, or the expression would have said, John saw a tortoise in his own house, or in my house. Such expressions would have changed the situation and would have made the information more specific. But in such constructions, we can see that we could allude that the house is not of John's. Similarly, any phrase with an indefinite article a or an also conveys similar meanings, and we can see the examples down here. I was sitting in a garden one day, and then a child looked over the fence. In both these examples, you can say that a child and a garden doesn't seem to belong to the speaker. And had it been speaker's own, he would have said my garden or my child. So because of the availability of such expressions, we could implicate or we could imply certain things. And such implications are usually called generalized conversational implicatures in the contemporary pragmatics.